Okay, for this experiment, we are trying to find out which food, chicken liver, cheddar cheese, baked beans, or egg white, will contain the greater amount of protein based on the amount of catalyze each contains. Uh, when food containing catalyze is added to hydrogen peroxide in a test tube, which for this case is the shot glasses, the catalyze breaks down the H2O2, which is hydrogen peroxide, and I'm using volume 30 here, forming oxygen and water. The oxygen is released as a column of foam in the test tube. The height of the foam produced is in direct proportion to the amount of catalase present in the food. Okay, got the foodstuffs out of the packaging now. Yeah, guys, safety first. This hydrogen peroxide can burn. I haven't burnt myself yet, but yeah, wearing gloves. Okay, cheddar cheese. Just need a small amount. You don't need a lot. Beans, I've rinsed them with water because we're testing the beans, not the sauce. Yeah, failed to open the egg, but yeah, I'll use this part, the egg white. Cool, I'll pour in the hydrogen peroxide and we're ready to go. I'm going to use a syringe and I'm going to measure, I don't know, probably about 3 mils into each to make sure it's the correct amount and equal amounts of hydrogen peroxide. So yeah. Okay, well I used 6, not 3 mils, because 3 mils was a little bit too little. Yeah, so I just used 6 and I've got enough here so I can do my second time, because you have to do your experiments twice to make sure you get good reading. While there are tiny bubbles forming already on the shot glasses, I'm just going to ignore that as part of the results. So yeah, I'm going to add them right now. First things first, I'm going to add the chicken liver. Here's the chicken liver. We'll add it into number 1 and we'll see what it does. Whoa! Filming quite a bit there. John, come check this, John. Okay, next I'm going to add the cheese into number 2. Okay, very little bubbles, but there are bubbles forming. So and there is like a small, yeah, there's quite a bit of bubbles forming on number 2. Now I'm going to add the beans. Okay, the beans are a bit difficult to grab, so I'm just going to pop them in. There we go. Beans are foaming. No, they're doing nothing. Okay, now I have to get the egg white. Add the egg white. Yeah, it's a little bit of foam, I think. Okay, number 1 definitely had the most. Number 2 was definitely second. Number 3 actually has nothing. Number 4 looks like it's doing something very slightly. They have to be raw because the catalase enzyme will denature at high temperatures. So the egg has to be raw, and so does the chicken liver. Yes, number 1's going a lot. As you can see, number 1 is definitely, the chicken liver is definitely a lot more reacted than the others. So number 1 definitely has a lot more protein than any of the others, just with this experiment. Okay, now I'm gonna let this go for another 10 seconds, and then we'll do the second one, which is the exact same, just rerunning the experiment with the same variables, which are the fixed variables would be the amount of concentrate I used, which will be 6 moles per one, and obviously 2 pieces of cheese, 3 beans, and a half spoon of egg white, and that's the exact same. I cut one size in the exact same half, so that should be the same as the next one. And I have used a sterile syringe, so there was no impurities in this thing. Still none, so I'm going to do the second one with it. Okay, number 1's reacting a lot still. Number 2, not so much. 3 and 4, doing nothing. Okay, experiment 2 coming right up. Test 2. Okay, here it goes. Same experiment, the same amount of hydrogen peroxide. First one is chicken liver. Warm. Instant foam. Right now it's making oxygen and water. Okay, now I'm going to put in the cheese. Into number 2. No foam. A little bit. There is some, but number 1 is a lot more reactive. Okay, now the beans in number 3. Also 3 beans again. Very little, almost no reaction. Okay, number 4 is the egg white. Once again, half a spoon of egg white. In it goes. Okay, number 4 is doing very little. Number 1, once again, a lot more foam, as you can see. Yes, you can. Okay. Actually, let's draw this number 4. Okay, it's actually gone white. Yeah. I don't think it's bubbles though, but it has gone white. And let me just see. No, there's no just a color change. No bubbles. Okay, number 3. Draw that up a bit. There are some bubbles, not a lot, but there are bubbles. Very little. Number 2. Still some up a bit. Yeah, I think it's done with that one. Very little bubbles. Still a bit more than number 3. And number 1 skyrocketed all the way to the top. This one's got the most out of all of them, as you can see. No point stirring this one up because this one's like obvious reaction. Okay, cool. That's that. I'll do one more experiment very shortly. Okay, this is just an extra experiment. I took some of the egg yellow from the tray, my dish, because there's quite a bit left over. And rumor has it that the yellow is supposedly to have more protein than the egg white. So I took 6 moles of hydrogen peroxide, like usual, as the fixed variable, and I'm going to add the egg yellow to see what happens. It's about enough. Nope, nothing. Okay, let's stir this thing. Whoa. Whoa. Hang on. It could be bubbles. No, I don't think so. Actually, no, I can't hear them popping. But for it to go white, there must be some bubbles. Close it up and like, okay. Well, it definitely has gone a lot lighter than when it was. That's what the color was. Can you see it? Okay, yeah, that's the color. It has gone lighter. There could be bubbles, there could not be bubbles. It's too small. No, I can't see any bubbles popping or anything. Okay, cool. That's the end of my experiment. Yeah. So my whole aim the whole aim of the experiment was to find which food product releases or not releases has the most amount of protein. And in this experiment, I've proven that chicken liver by far has way more protein than all the others. Okay, we're just going to add a bit more for the random part of it. Okay, yeah. Spin it around a bit. The cheddar cheese did have some bubbles. Baked beans had very little to none. And the egg white and the egg yolk, I think it's the same thing, both have changed colors to a lighter state. So that could mean there are bubbles, but I'm not too sure on that. And yeah, thanks for watching.